Okay, picking out my papers. So I know I'm going to do 3 signatures in the book that I showed you how to do the hidden spine. So I start to go through my stuff. Now I'm going to be using some digitals in this one. I believe this is called Golden Autumn, and this is from Calico Collage. These are digital downloads. You purchase them for very reasonable prices. And then I have an EcoTank printer, so I can print all day long, all year long. Oh, I have a couple years on the ink I have now. And I print out these digital kits. And I thought this would look really good with the book that we're getting ready to put the hidden spine in. So that, first of all, I go through, and the digitals that she had 6 focus pages, what I would call focus pages. And I picked those 6 focus pages. Now, these are going to be a bit bigger than my book, so I am going to have to trim down. So each one I'm taking and being very cautious about where I'm trimming. I don't want to trim too much off, but I have to take about an inch, a little more than an inch, because this is 8.5, and I wanted them at, well, about an inch, 7.5. So I am being very cautious. So I know that I'm going to start out with those 2 pages. And since there were 6 and I'm doing 3 signatures, it worked out really great. So I'm going to start with those. In each of my signatures, I like about 6 pages because I know I'm going to fill them up and I'm going to make them big. I don't like gator mouth. I think I've said that before. And so I know I'm going to be packing stuff in them, so I don't want to get them too crazy. So then I just go through, and in this particular one, I decide what's going to be my center signature, what are going to be my outside signatures. They're all going to sort of be the same, but I'm trying to mix up a little bit of what I put in them. So this is some of my dyed paper, and this was a coffee dyed paper, and then I think I used might have been Kool-Aid. I don't remember what I used around the edges. Or it might have been an ink that I have, and I was trying some different techniques. So I had enough to do one for each page. This is a coffee dyed paper that had a salt technique that I used with some of those orange splotches. I really liked that. This is my eco dyed paper. This is just some graph paper. And then for this particular one, like, what do I want to do to make this one stand out so they're not all exactly the same. And then this I got from my niece's baby shower a long time ago, so I went around picking up all the doilies that hadn't, you know, really been slopped on or anything, but I thought, oh gosh, that'd be really pretty in this album. And then in this one, I'm also going to do a card envelope, and I'll show you how I put that in when I get that cut. And then I just grabbed that with it because they all went together. It was a base, but this will become something else. And then same process for the next journals. Only in this one, I think I'm going to put a bag. And I'm filling it with a few different, my graph paper looks different. My eco dyed paper, my coffee dyed paper, my orange paper, and then of course, again, the 2 papers that came with the kit. Golden Autumn by Calico Collage. And I'm going to get all my papers together, and then I'm going to come back, show you them, and that's when we're going to assemble the signatures into the book. This, I will also be doing something different with this, and I'm going to prep that to get that ready to go to. So, see you in a bit. Okay, so I've gotten all my pages done, which I'm going to show you in a minute, but there's a little prep that I'm going to do to this spine that's going to go, our hidden spine to go in the book. So when you see down in between the cracks, I'll show you on my mushroom journal, you're going to, oh goodness, you're going to see a little bit, but you're not going to think anything of it. So I'm going to prep this a little bit and get that to looking good before I move on. And I have some prep to do to my signatures as well. So I played around a little bit and thought, well, what would look kind of good in that middle? So this is what I came up with. And I am going to take my, let's see, Distressed Oxide by Ranger Ink Squeezed Lemonade. And I'm just going to, let me just rub it on there. I think it's going to look a little different because, of course, I'm putting it on cardboard and that was more of a white background. But I still think I'm going to get a good effect out of it. So I'm just going to go for it. And hey, it's cardboard. If I really hate it, I can make a new one, right? So that's what I'll do. Okay, I think that's pretty good coverage. And then I'm going to take my stencil. And I think I got this from Joann Fabrics. I'm not really, it might have been a Tim Holtz. I don't quite remember. But I'm going to lay my stencil there. And then I'm taking a Distress Oxide Rusty Hinge, which I absolutely love this one. I just did, in fact, I did that around some of my mushroom journal. So I'm just going to take my sponge dauber. These are in Dollar Tree. They're the makeup sponges. And these are the nice sturdy ones. They had some for a while that were really, really flimsy that they don't work good. But then they got these nice spongy ones back in. I'm like, oh, I better grab some because I do use them for this type of thing and for inking around the edges all the time. So I'm just going to continue to ink, and then I'm just going to move my stencil down and continue and see what we get here. Okay, I actually like that. I think that's cool, and I think with the papers that I picked out, that's gonna go really well. So now I have all my papers done, all my signatures put together. My spine is done, and I practiced a little bit on this. Didn't like the green at all, but I still have my top. And wow, isn't this gonna go great in the center? You're not gonna see a whole lot of it, but enough to pick up some of them colors. So I'm pretty happy with that. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to ink any of my edges of my signature. So here's the 3 signatures that I got done. There's 3 of them. Okay. And I just went through and put the papers together where I wanted them. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to ink. I think I'm going to use the Rusty Hinge because I think that's going to look really, really awesome. And you want to do this prior, like I'll take each page out, ink it up, put it back where it was. I could have probably done them all before I did all the folding and stuff, but I'm usually like excited to get the pages in to see what they look like. But you want to do this before you add your signature because it's going to be much more difficult to have that book and then trying to ink all your edges or anywhere you want to do. So I'm going to do that. I'll come back and then I think it will be time to add this to this and glue it in the book.